Here on Your Hometown Road Trip, not only are we all about, fun activities, food, and businesses, but it's all about people. People doing great things in the community, and that is exactly what our next guest is doing. Now, it's a little rainy outside right now, so we're actually going to have him meet us up at the WJBF News Channel 6 station, and we're going to talk to him and see what he's all about. We got my friend Walker here. Walker, how are you doing today?
How you doing, man?
I am doing good. Walker is actually the first person to make a road trip to us. We were going to go out to Evans and do something out there, but it's a little rainy today. But he does some really cool work in the community, so I wanted to make sure that he came out here and was able to get that across. So, Walker, first and foremost, talk to us a little bit about yourself and what you're all about.
Okay, well, so I am a guide dog advocate and a public speaker, and what I like to do is spread awareness about blindness and guide dog etiquette, specifically what not to do when around a guide dog. And the way I like to start it out is just to kind of explain to people what has caused me to go blind and why, and then why do I need a guide dog. That usually kind of answers itself once you tell them a story about why you're blind. So one of the main things I like to talk about is just, please don't mess with my dog.
Gotcha. Well, we're not going to mess with him today. We got our friend Loki right here.
Yeah.
Let's introduce you. Talk to me a little bit about Loki real quick.
So Loki is a guide dog from an amazing place called Leader Dogs for the Blind, located in Rochester Hills, Michigan. And what that place is it's a guide dog school, but they also double as a school to help people learn how to use a white cane. So the whole thing is just built around giving blind people back their independence. And I went there and I learned how to use the white cane I got in my hand right here. And once I spent a week there, I went back again and I got him. So my goal is basically just, like I said, spread awareness about blindness and basically to let other blind people know about the resources that are out there that are available to help them.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, how long you've been speaking now for a while now. How long have you been doing that? And just talk to me kind of what led up to the point where you decided that you were going to start speaking.
Okay, so I've been speaking for about a year. Just small time, just talking to some people, just explaining my story. I think that's a very important thing to talk about, because if you don't tell them your story, then they don't really understand what led you to this point. Okay, so I've been doing it about a year, and I started just kind of small time talking to people, explaining my situation, and then it kind of built up into a thing where I was like, I feel like I could do some real good with this, just because so many people don't know what it's like. I didn't know until I became someone who was a victim of it. So I think it's just very important to teach the public about the realities of blindness. Now I'm down to 9 degrees of my vision, and I see through a very small hole left. And I still remember the day I got diagnosed. I didn't even think I was losing my vision.
Yeah.
But it just happens. It goes way faster than you think it might.
All right, so what would you say is your overall mission, right now at this point with your speaking?
I'd say inclusivity for blind people. I want the world to be a safer place for blind people to travel, for them to do everyday activities that sighted people do. And I also want them to know about the resources that are available to them to help get their independence back. Before I discovered Leader Dogs for the Blind, I had absolutely no idea that there were even places like that out there. And I was a very lost person, I was a very depressed person, I was a very angry person. I was confused. Why is this happening to me, of all people?
Yeah.
Then I found that place, and I was okay with it all. I'm fine with it. I left there a whole brand new person. I'm okay with losing my vision, and I'm especially okay with it because I got my best friend in the whole world, Loki, right below me.
Yeah. So now let's talk about your best friend here, your buddy. I want to talk a little bit about Loki. What's you guys day to day like? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, me and Loki live pretty much a regular life like anyone else. A lot of people don't realize that guide dogs aren't working all of the time. Matter of fact, I would tell you Loki probably works 5% of his life. And at home, he's just like any other dog. He's running around the yard, he's playing, we're playing tug of war, we're wrestling. He's just being a regular dog. He sleeps on the couch with me if he wants to. Just when that harness slips over his head, it's a whole different ball game, which then brings me to my independence. He has to be able to turn that on and off in order for him to be able to guide me correctly. He has to know that, hey, all the games that we play at home, we can't do this.
The last question that I wanted to ask you, is there anything that you want to say to, the people who have supported you, the people who've come out and listened to you, the people who have, have supported you on social media, anything you want to say to them now for, making this past year possible?
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to shout out my family, because if it wasn't for their support and pushing me to go to Leader Dogs for the Blind in the first place, I don't even know if I ever would have stepped foot in the building. Second, I want to thank my friends for never treating me differently after I told them that I was way more blind than I thought. See, I spent a lot of my time pretending I was better off than I was because I didn't want to be treated any differently. And third, I want to thank Leader Dogs for the Blind for giving me my independence, for restoring what I thought I was never going to get back, and changing my life. I want to thank Melissa Weiss, who's the CEO of Leader Dogs for the Blind. She's a great friend of mine, and she continues to inspire me every day. I want to thank Hannah, who taught me everything about using a white cane, because if it wasn't for her, I never would have had the foundation laid for me to even get Loki. And I want to thank Danielle, because she's the one who put this dog in my hands. She's the one who handed me the leash and taught him everything he knows. That has changed my life. As a matter of fact, I got one other person I want to thank. I want to thank my buddy Joey. I don't do these presentations alone. I have a partner. His name is Joey Johnson. He's blind. He also has a guide dog from the same place. And Joey is an amazing friend of mine, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here either, because he has been my biggest and probably largest inspiration that I have had this entire year. So all of those things combined have put me in this chair where I'm sitting here talking in front of you, and I couldn't be more thankful for home.